Hi guys. I just want to start off by saying that after this video is released, I am gonna go on a long hiatus and I'm gonna go right on Discord. All the drama is getting out of hand. I don't mind being an ear for everybody. But I'm worried that here soon I'm gonna be getting a phone call and we may have to travel for a funeral. Sorry, there is gonna be a lot of cuts in this. I am also only gonna be in contact with just a small handful of people because they're going through a rough time. It's nothing to do with this. It's IRL stuff. But it seems like things need to be addressed. I will do a couple apologies and go into explaining everything a little bit more because people are getting the story all wrong. The whole freaking thing with the gamer stuff, the story is all twisted. Y'all just believe that it's all these adults that's ganging up on a minor, and that's not true. And I will go into detail on that. I also want to state that the stuff that's happened with the defending Zeta and the whole minor thing, that's two separate things. They are not the same thing. You had one group that was there on Zeta's side defending him, and then you have the other group. I'm just part of both of them. And I will go into detail on why we even felt like we needed to discuss things with him. I will also share the message that I even sent. I wanted it to be passed along to him. I am first going to start off with one of the apologies. The second one will come later. But I do want to apologize to Apom for assuming that he was the first imposter. I assumed because we knew that he was the second, that there was a high possibility that he was the first. So I am so sorry for accusing you of being both. The next thing I want to talk about, I've only seen parts and pieces of Lady Rose's video. I've been so busy and where I can't do it. So what I'm saying is from what little bit I've seen and what people have told me. Apparently they got their hands on the group chat that was private. It wasn't even a Discord, it was just a private chat. We don't know if there was a rat. If there is, and we find out, I will make it public because I am so tired of people picking sides. This isn't about picking sides at all. I hope in a way that it is just a rat, someone that just wanted to keep the drama going, to keep the issues going because they're just clout chasers, versus thinking that it's possible that someone from the other side is using whatever this program is to spy in on private messages / calls. Is about the private group chat that was leaked. The other thing I want to bring up about that is Y'all can sit there and judge as much as you want. I handle things differently. Anything that annoys me or pisses me off, I try to turn it into a joke. I really don't fucking care what you have to say about that. The only difference is, with our group, we weren't even trying to cancel anybody, unlike those that did create a cancel hate group. So I can only imagine what messages and what conversations were said in there. All of us had moved on from this. It had been over 3 weeks. Over 3 weeks. Dealing with like the private DMs, the messages, being talked shit online constantly. It's so ridiculous. We had moved on, but it shows that others have not. Now, I want to go in. There's no reason to touch really on the Zeta stuff, because that's done and over with. Everyone had their chance to speak up and say their sides of the stories. I am going to start talking about the gamers/minor issue. So a lot of y'all were saying that it was just a bunch of adults that was ganging up on a minor. That is not true. That was not true. Only 2 people, technically 1, that didn't really know him or interact with him at all. Then you have me, that would talk to him when he came into the group chat, when we were all hanging out, playing games and stuff like that. I would socialize with him. I was not technically his friend, but I socialized. And then you have 2 people that were actual friends with him. And then you have 1 that was there. We count on Raptor as a good friend that will focus the point if it's getting out of hand, more like if it gets off track and stuff like that. I don't know how he came to be a part of the server in the first place. And that's why when I read this message, as far as I do, no one knew of his age. And when it came out of what he did, what his age was, it scared a lot of people. And it scared me too. And it disgusted me and everything like that. So once everything came out, I have the message pulled up. I'm gonna put it on the screen, but I'm gonna read it over here. I sent a message to Ash about gamers, because I believe this is when he like left. I said, "Hey, will you pass on this message to gamer/nif-nif? I understand you're upset, and I know that Ash's server is 16 plus now. At the time, I believed it was 18 plus, because a lot of us that came in were people that socialized with other adults. So the servers I'm in are normally 18 plus due to being lewd streamer. I'm not mad at you, but I am disappointed and disgusted thinking about the VCs we were all in having 18 plus talks and you were in there. It's my fault for assuming you were over 18 like everyone else. I feel like since you knew how old you were, when those topics came up, you should have left or told people sooner about your age. Now this is coming from me being a mother. I'd much prefer you don't leave. I know you're safe in Ash's server, because if something was to happen with adults talking to you in a way they shouldn't, you got people here that will protect you versus some other servers. Do not join any more 18 plus servers, because things could get much worse for you. Last thing I'm going to say, if I'm in a VC with everyone and you join, I will be leaving because the things we talk about, I don't even say in front of my own teenager. This was before we found out about the lies and everything. I would have been fine with him staying, but I can't stand a liar regardless. I just can't. Not long after that, I think it was like a few days, maybe a week after that, I was hanging out in the server with my other friends, just chit-chatting, talking, and he popped up, but he didn't pop up in the VC that we were in. And everybody was mostly like, what's Gamers doing? Why is he down there? You know, what's going on? All this other stuff. Apparently those didn't know what had happened behind the scenes. So I told everyone, I said, don't worry, guys, I'll take care of this. And I left. And that's when Abyss messaged me. And she's like, hey, what's going on? Why'd you leave like that? And I told her my issue, the reason why I don't want to be involved if he's around and all that. And she's like, okay, well, hold up, because either you're lying to me or Gamers is lying to me. So I sent her some screenshots and she lost it. Just like any normal person, if they're friends with somebody and then they get showed evidence that they're lying. In the end, I felt like something needed to be said. And that's when I talked to Ash about it. Gamers knew at some point we were all going to be talking to him about this stuff, which I want to address something else. There was a person in the comments of the video. They had said, one of my friends has actually talked to the minor, and he did say that the conversation did not go the way that they were telling him it would go. I think it was also worth mentioning to everyone here in the comments and all those involved who harassed him that he was driven into such a corner that he nearly ended himself. So I hope that your side feels great about themselves, Isla. Edited, more info was brought to my attention. They knew he nearly ended himself before posting the video of them concerning him and posting it anyways, with the certain people also deciding to be anonymous. No, we did not. When I saw this comment, though, I did get in touch with someone that is still friends with him and asked him if that was true. Because if it was true, I was going to just take it down. But Gamers replied and said, no, that's not true. I never once thought of that. Yes, he was nervous. He knew that it was going to happen, but there was no talk of ending that. I also know that a lot of people have reached out to him, and he's basically told all the ones that's reached out to him that he doesn't want to be involved, and he doesn't need to be involved anymore. He needs to focus on his school and his testing. I don't know if the testings are going on now, but they're here soon. And then if he's going to do like a summer job, focus on that. And then if he's at home, when he's at home and he's wanting to do his streaming, then he needs to focus on his streaming. He doesn't need to be involved in this drama no more. So people need to stop trying to drag him in. I'm proud of him for sticking to his words. He's not gone back on his word since we've had the conversation. People are just taking it out of context. The whole thing I was worried about, because I was thinking of if it was my son and he was messing around in these 18 plus servers, he'd be gone. That's like my worst fear. I have seen videos, I have read things online that shows how easy it is for kids that are in spaces they shouldn't be just disappear. And that's one of the things we've needed him to understand. At the time, and I'm sorry to say this, but because someone went stupid around and they figured out who you were, Abyss, I'm sorry. I should have told you that it was going to be recorded. I am so used to being backstabbed and gaslit and harassed that when it comes to serious situations, I record it. And I do it not only to protect myself, but when there's others too, to protect them. I didn't know someone was going to go this far to sit there and harass and constantly message people. If I would have known, I would have strictly just left everybody. I would have left everybody that was involved. Just like when Daisy was talking, I didn't want to see any of my friends get in trouble because everyone was in a server where a miner was. There's rules put into place to not only protect the adults, but to protect the minors. And it's just got all twisted. I'm so sick of it. It just looks like people are just trying to clout chase and have shit to talk about. This was a serious issue. And not for y'all to keep talking about and dragging along. I hate this. But it seems like a lot of people don't even know what betrayal looks like, regardless of the age. He was joining 18 plus servers. Places he shouldn't have been. That could have caused him to go missing. Had other things done to him. And he didn't realize that. People that hold those accountable and are just worried and want to make sure are ones that actually care. I wasn't mad at him. I was just disappointed and disgusted. I felt like Abyss had a right to confront him because he was her friend. And it's very shocking and it hurts a lot when you get shown proof that your friend lied. And the fact that he even stated at one point that he did have minor in his bio, but then he took it down. It's for your safety. And others' safety. And Abyss, like I said, I'm sorry. I know you lost your shit, and they're coming at you for cussing out a miner. But personally, that was your friend, regardless of age at that point. Friends do hold other friends accountable. I mean, hell, if he was going to 18 plus servers, I guess he wanted to be treated like an adult. So you let yourself be vulnerable, I'm gonna do it too. So this message is for Lady Rose. I've seen how you've been saying that I'm a bad mom, but you don't even know the hells that I went through to protect my babies. I hope you never have to deal with an alcoholic that puts his hands on you. I hope you never have to deal with an alcoholic that will put his hands on you worse when you throw yourself to protect your babies. I hope you never have to deal with an alcoholic that doesn't accept the word no. Regardless of being married, I hope you never come home from work and the neighbors run at you because they hear your husband, your ex-husband, shooting a gun. And my fear of losing my babies at night. So fuck you. I went through hells to protect my babies and to get them somewhere safe. I don't normally care if people judge me. I don't care if people sit there and call me a bitch or a cunt or anything like that. But when you sit there and call me a bad mom or a bad parent, that's what gets under my skin the most. Because of the shit that I went through. I'm just so sick of shit getting twisted. You don't have to have the full context. The reason for that video to protect the communities and protect him. I would hope that if my son did something like this, he would have people that would hold him accountable and help him realize how scary it is. Not random people that are just pissed off that others were just trying to protect their friend and they're constantly looking for something to go after. The whole point of documents, anyways, is to help warn people of what others have done. But all the docs that I've seen, not of this situation. I'm not talking of this situation. I'm talking about from all the other shit that has happened. Some with other friends of mine that had met IRL with people. And some of them not taking no for an answer. Some getting physical. I've seen other documents where adults have been messaging minors inappropriately. But to me, that's the whole point of the documents. Is to warn others of situations like that. Not situations where your feelings get hurt. That's why I have a hard time believing when people are like, oh, well, he cheated on me online, or she's over here talking to multiple guys and stuff like that, then fucking block them. It's so much different than when you're in a relationship IRL and the person can literally come to your house. I'm so done with this crap. Like I said, I have my own shit to deal with. I'm gonna go on red. And I don't know when I'll be back. I will still continue to make content on TikTok. But for streams, the Fox's Brew, any of that is postponed. Those that I had talked to about the project, I am so sorry. but I'm not going to be able to continue those projects at the moment.